Have you ever stopped to think about what tax rates might look like in 20 years from now? It is an important question because the answer could have a big impact on your retirement. Now, before you answer, let me be clear. We don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you what Congress is going to do next, and nobody can predict future tax law with certainty. But your answer to that question may have a significant impact on how you think about retirement planning. And here's why. When we sit down with clients, we ask this question all the time. Where do you think taxes are headed? And you know what? Almost everyone gives us the same answer. I think they're going up. Now, again, that doesn't mean they will. But if that's what you believe, then it changes the conversation altogether. Because retirement planning isn't just about how much money you've saved. It's also about when you'll pay taxes on that money. Think about it this way. If you knew gasoline was going to be more expensive next month, you'd probably fill up today. If you knew lumber prices were going to increase, you'd probably go buy your materials before the price went up. The same thought process applies to taxes. If you believe tax rates may be higher in the future, it makes sense to at least explore strategies that could allow you to take advantage of today's tax environment. Not because we know what's going to happen, but because we're planning for the possibilities. So why do so many people believe taxes could be higher in the future? One reason is the national debt. Over the years, the federal government has accumulated an enormous amount of debt. That debt requires interest payments. Programs like Social Security and Medicare continue to require funding. And as those obligations grow, many people wonder how those costs will eventually be paid. Now, I'm not making a political statement, and I'm certainly not saying taxes have to increase. Congress has a lot of options. No one knows what the future legislation will look like. But it's one reason many retirees begin asking whether today's tax environment presents planning opportunities. Here's another reason this conversation comes up so often: the history. If you look back over the past several decades, federal income tax rates have often been much higher than they are today. Now, history doesn't tell us what will happen next, but it does give us a good perspective. Today's tax rates are relatively low compared to many periods in American history. Again, that doesn't guarantee they'll go higher, but if you personally believe today's rates are favorable, you may want to think carefully about whether waiting is the best strategy. One mistake people make is thinking retirement planning is about making predictions. It isn't. It's about preparing. We insure our homes because something could happen. We buy life insurance because something could happen. We diversify our investments because something could happen. Retirement tax planning works the same way. You don't need certainty. You need simply to evaluate the possibilities. If taxes stay exactly where they are, great. But if they don't, will your retirement plan still work the way you hope it will? That's the question. Now, let's assume for a moment that you do believe taxes could eventually be higher. That leads to another very important question. How much of your retirement account actually belongs to you? And how much may ultimately belong to the IRS? It sounds like a strange question, but it's one of the most eye-opening conversations we have with retirees. And that's exactly what we're talking about in our next episode. If you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you would like this video and subscribe to our channel. Our goal is to make retirement planning easier to understand by breaking down complex topics into simple conversations you can actually use. And if you click that notification bell, you'll be notified each time we release a new episode. So in our next video, we're going to answer a question that surprises almost everyone. If your IRA statement says you have $1 million, do you actually own $1 million? The answer may completely change the way you look at retirement savings. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.